I'm going to change out a fuel filter on this BMW 120D. Now this is a 2007 model. It's got the M47 2-litre diesel. It's a ball terror of a little engine, to be honest. And this is a new vehicle to my shed, so to speak. And this hasn't been changed in this vehicle according to the service history for around about 100,000 Ks. So I think personally it's well overdue. So let's get into it. Now the first thing you want to do, I've got the vehicle up on ramps because I'm doing an engine oil service. That will be a later video. You want to remove this, it's not a bash guard, it's just a plastic cover under the trans. So with that removed, we can see there is our fuel filter location. So that is on the left side of the vehicle. So in order to get it out, there is just a clip on this back end here and just a normal hose clamp on this end just to pull out, and plus probably the clamp that holds it in place, so we'll need to loosen that off. There should just be this clip here. Now I'm just going to use a screwdriver just to lever that straight out. And we'll pop it all the way out. Now you'll probably spill some diesel here, so I recommend having a container underneath to catch it. So we should be able to just pull that straight back. And like I said, there is the spilt diesel. And like I said earlier, and it's just a generic hose clamp just on this end, which is really quite simple. So I'll loosen that off. And that hose, you may need some pliers just to latch onto that hose, especially if it's been on there a fair while, which this one feels like it has. I'm just going to loosen off this clamp as well. That looks like a hex head from here. Hex head or Torx? I can't quite tell. Torx, I think. Now this little one is a Torx. I think it's a T20. So I'm just going to loosen off that bracket. Hopefully that does the trick. Otherwise, it might be that bolt that's up the top there as well, which I think it's going to be. So we've got just a 13mm bolt just here as well, just to loosen for the bracket. Now I'm not working with much room under here just because of the low car and ramp situation, but it is doable. Now let's try and break this hose free. So I'm just going to, like I said earlier, just some pliers just to crack the seal on it and loosen it off. Seems to work right there. One of those bolts that is tight all the way to the end. And then we just pull that straight off the barb. Obviously we'll hang on to that mounting bracket and that can transfer onto the new filter. And just take a bit of time to make sure that the bracket is sitting on the right way. And you got the little protective cap on that end before it goes back onto that barb. We'll tighten that up in a sec. Now when this end goes back in as well, it's important just to orientate your end cap so that your clip can go back in and out easily. Clip in and just give that a tug just to make sure it's in. That's just a matter of doing up that bracket again, making sure this hose clamp is tight, and we're done. I highly recommend using the extension on your ratchet. I'm just too lazy to get out from under the car and go get it. Okay, that's tight, and we'll just make sure that little screw there is tight also. And that's the main bit of that done. So, fuel filter changed. So it's just a matter of throwing that under tray back on the car. There's only a handful of bolts, as you would have seen earlier. And we're just gonna, actually before we probably do that tray, we'll prime the filter up first. Just make sure there's no leaks. and then we can put the tray back on. So that's the order we'll do it. Now, in order to prime that fuel filter, I'm just going to go in, throw the key in the ignition, and just turn the ignition to on. So we get to the dash lighten up. And you should hopefully hear the fuel pump start running if everything stays quiet. I just normally do that a couple of times, just in order to get the fuel flowing through the filter. Hopefully that should start without a problem. No leaks, so that's good. Let's just shut that off because that's noisy. So yeah, like I said earlier, it'll just be that under tray cover on, back on, and job done. Thanks very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content of BMWs, well in this particular, the 120D, don't forget to subscribe. I'll have some videos hopefully coming up in the future. So see you later.